And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards. Reliability starts here. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. And Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the Mighty 1090 studios with Captain Buzz Brizendine from the Prowler. We're going to have a great show today, talking fishing. And are you going to be talking fishing today? Stay tuned. This is Southern California's sport fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
The new Shimano Torium HG is here, and you'll be able to experience this fantastic reel now at your local Shimano dealer. The new Torium is up to 30% smaller than the previous generation, but still has the same line capacity. The smaller S compact body design and one-piece die-cast aluminum frame provides more rigidity and lighter weight. Torium now has EI surface treatment and is tested up to 700 times the corrosion resistance of past models. The new Shimano Torium HG is not only better on the outside, the inside is amazing, with a cross-carbon drag providing up to 24 pounds of drag pressure from a Star Drag reel. It has a sealed roller clutch and 6.2 to 1 brass gears. The machined aluminum handle has a larger knob to make it easy to crank in the big fish. The new lightweight aluminum spool gives you better casting and control. Available in 3 sizes, the Torium HG is the next evolution in compact, rigid, and powerful saltwater Star Drag reels. Get it now at your local Shimano dealers.
Let's talk candidly about long-range fishing. This is Captain Frank DePresti of the Royal Polaris and the Shogun. Nowhere on Earth will you find a fleet of long-range boats like we have in San Diego. We are fortunate to have several top-notch operations to take you to the most productive fishing grounds in the world. We all offer good food, comfortable staterooms, huge bait capacity, and top-of-the-line fish-finding electronics. So why would you choose the Royal Polaris or the Shogun for your next long-range trip? What sets us apart from the rest? It's pretty simple. The boats, the crew, and the service. From the moment you arrive at Fisherman's Landing, the service begins. We help you load your gear and do everything possible to get beginners or seasoned veterans ready to catch fish. When it's time to fish, the Royal Polaris and the Shogun have the edge there too, delivering the 2 best fishing platforms in the fleet. But don't take my word for it. Come fishing with us. If you want the best, it's Royal Polaris and the Shogun. For more information, call 619-226-8030 or on the web at royalpolarissportfishing.com or shogunsportfishing.com.
Meet the Innovation Award-winning Yamaha V6 offshore 4-strokes at 300, 250, and 225 horsepower. These Predators are up to 73 pounds lighter than the competition. And with class-leading 4.2-liter displacement, they're up to 19% faster and up to 17% more fuel efficient at cruise RPM than comparable 4-strokes. And now they're available with Helmmaster, Yamaha's fully integrated boat control system. Meet the next generation of Yamaha V6 offshore 4-strokes today at your local Yamaha dealer. Helmmaster available with V6s purchased only as part of new boat packages from boat builder partners.
Summer has finally arrived, bringing warmer waters our way. And you know what that means. The offshore fishing this season could be one of the best ever. And speaking of best ever, have you seen the new 2015 Ford F-150? It's the most advanced F-150 ever, which is even more good news for fishermen. One of my favorite features is the available 360-degree camera. It lets you see everything around you, which really comes in handy when you're trying to launch on a crowded dock. It's also the first truck ever to be built with military-grade aluminum alloy. That means the new F-150 is up to 700 pounds lighter to accelerate faster and stop quicker. It also hauls more and tows more. And get this, it does it all more fuel efficiently. I highly recommend taking one out for a test drive. The new F-150 is the best thing to happen to fishermen in San Diego since the barbed hook. So stop by your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090, one of my favorite shows we do all year. We're going to have a great time today.
This is the first day of summer.
Oh, look at that.
Happy Father's Day, first of all. And what a great way to start celebrating Father's Day on the first day of summer than have having the big daddy himself right here, Buzz Brizendine from the Prowler. Good morning, Buzz.
Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Rick.
What's up,
Happy
Buzz?
Father's Day to you. You're not only a father, but a grandfather, too.
Absolutely.
So happy grandfather and Father's
How
Day.
cool is that?
Yeah, how about
Cool.
that? And, of course, a lot of guys know we're on the subject of your son, Ryan. He's doing great, working and living up in northern L.A., right?
Yeah, lives in Moore Park and is working at Malibu Seafoods.
Great spot.
Oh, what a spot.
Yeah.
His front porch of the place almost is PCH, and directly across from that is the beach.
Yeah.
Not
so
a bad deal.
That's a nice view.
Yeah, it's a really nice view. That's my old stomping grounds. I know exactly where he's sitting right now. It's really a cool deal.
That's right.
But nice, and he's doing great up there.
He's doing well.
Yeah.
He's a partner in the business, and they just keep clicking along.
Yeah,
So cool. Well, happy Father's Day, Ryan.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, and
a major happy Father's Day, too, to my dad, too. I want to make
your
Happy Father's
dad,
Day,
of course. Happy Father's Day to your dad, who you just brought back from Sitka. You took him up to Sitka for you.
Yeah.
For Father's Day, right?
That's a pretty nice Father's Day present.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a good one.
with as lacking as I might be on remembering some other things, that's the one thing I'm a champ on is Father's Day.
Father's Day, yeah.
Well, happy Father's Day, Dad.
Indeed. Well, Buzz, anything going on out there? Is there any fish around?
Yeah, we just keep waiting for something to show up.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we're looking at hundreds of maybe thousands of tons of bluefin, and there's yellowfin showing up. I heard something about a Dorado caught yesterday.
Oh, cool.
I don't know for sure, but I
Yeah.
know.
I heard a rumor on the 9 Mile Bank area.
Yeah, and that wouldn't even be the first one.
Right.
There was one caught off down on the 30 block a month ago. So, I mean, it's not biting real well yet, but the amount of the raw resource we've got in the Southern California bite is amazing.
When is that switch going to flip, do you think?
Gosh, today would be just fine.
It's kind of one of those any day things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, almost to the point of no reason it shouldn't have happened already. You know, I mean, the fish is there, and I'm assuming the conditions are right for it. We're just
60. We were out Thursday. We had a charter.
Day and a half?
No, it was a one-day trip.
It was a one-day
overnight
trip,
trip.
okay.
In fact, it was the guys that build tough sheds.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
They were a great bunch of guys. But we left early the evening before, and on the way out, just outside the 9, it was 69 degrees.
No kidding.
So it's
And loaded with that red crab, huh?
well, that's the one thing I was going to say. Maybe retarding the switch a little bit. There is so much natural bait around that they can be pretty choosy.
Yeah, indeed. Now, what about the issue? I know the Everingham brothers doing a great job, working hard to try and find bait, but it's been pretty tough to get sardine lately.
It's on again, off again, and they're having to work their backsides off. But I got to tell you, when we rolled into the bait receivers the other night, we got 2 rock hard tanks of sardines.
Nice.
We were loaded for bear.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Nice. Are sardine? What if one day you whirl up to the receiver and you have all anchovy?
Great. We'll catch them on
Okay.
anchovy.
All right. Yeah, we're good with that, right?
And just since you brought that up, I'm going to beat my drum one more time
All right.
about today's spinning reels and Spectra line with a fluorocarbon top shot. You can fish heavier gear with a better presentation than ever before.
Okay.
So we're not going to miss a beat.
All right. That's good. That's good news.
Better presentation is a good thing you say about that, too, because it's not only just that it's easier to cast because it's lighter, but you can cast farther when when your bait hits the water. It's more delicately than trying to slap it out as hard as you can with a conventional outfit. I mean, there's and Buzz talks about it all the time in the shop, and he's dead on right. Spinning reels now are not like spinning reels 10 years ago. It's a whole different ball game. There's so much more torque and power, and with Spectra, you now hold plenty of line. You get an 8-foot. Maybe go back to a fiberglass rod where you get that nice soft tip to it. I mean, it's not like the old days.
No, it's a different deal, right?
It is an absolutely different deal, and just to that end, we are playing with some 2-speed spinners on the boat right now.
Oh, nice.
And
little prototype stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we haven't got to pull on a big fish yet, but they are so smooth.
Really?
And it's a big knob, that's easy to grab when you're in battle. You saw them.
We got to put line on them, and trust me, everybody kind of stopped. I was like, I got something that we're not allowed to talk about yet, little prototype that they're testing on the boat, and it was amazing how easy, it was to shift from high to low. I mean, it's perfect.
We've still got to do it under stress, but just to have a reasonable piece of gear like that,
pretty
cool.
impressive.
It shows how far we've come.
Yeah.
And so back to your original question, what do we do
If it's straight anchovy.
There won't be
Which there have been years like that. Right?
Oh, and we caught lots of fish, and there won't be any hand wringing. I mean, of all times, the tackle that we have, both conventional and spinning, will make that shift seamless.
Okay. Yeah. So, let me ask you this. You go out there, you see all these big schools of bluefin pushing anchovies up, lots of anchovy around. What about albacore? I
think for this year, the water inshores is going to be too warm. 69 degrees already in June. Yeah. That's a pretty good sign. That being said, the albacore population, the stock of fish, is in great shape. Okay. And once we get the correct oceanography in the Southern California Bight, we stand to have, the good old days again.
Yeah. Right. I saw Sammy Patella from the American Angler the other day on the dock, and Sammy looked me in the eye and he said, I'm telling you, albacore this year. So Sammy thinks it's going to be albacore.
Well,
but you never know. It's like kind of the Tommy Rothery theory. You keep predicting until it happens.
Yeah, that's right. And who knows? There's some 62-degree water out by the dumper and some of those places.
We just got to go there.
It could happen.
It could happen.
Yeah.
And I just speaking of albacore, and it makes me think of JJ, who's now got an albacore boat.
Right.
And
he's already gone.
Well, yeah, he's already gone, but he's kind of one of the extended family up there at Malibu Seafoods.
Sure.
He drove the boat up the coast by Malibu as he was on his way north the other day about 5 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's really cool.
That was pretty neat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Going north.
Well, albacore, bluefin, yellowfin, dorado, wahoo. You're saying wahoo.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Mark,
right on.
I think Mark was right on yesterday, when he was talking about don't get caught by surprise this year. Because there were a lot of guys that had, they got busted off or chewed off or this or that, and the light didn't go on right away.
Yeah, so be ready is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So what's the Prowler going to be doing?
Right now we're running day-and-a-half trips, and we're doing that predominantly. There's going to be some one-day trips interspersed in there, but basically we're just kind of in the starting blocks ready to go.
Yeah, open party out of Fisherman's Landing.
Open party out of Fisherman's
Landing. Book right on land or at the landing.
Yes, either one.
Yeah, okay. And great operation. Tell us passenger loads and all that kind of stuff.
29 passengers offshore on a day-and-a-half trips. The boat, we fine-tune it every winter to just try and keep it up at the top level.
Yeah, looks great right now.
Thank you. This past winter we did some painting, but the thing that we're probably the most proud of is we entirely redid the refrigeration system in the engine room and went over to a new style refrigerant. And, I mean, it comes down to 34 degrees and is just rock steady.
Wow, for your RSW fish hold.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
and they come out looking like they just swam in there.
Yeah,
so cool.
That is so awesome.
How nice must that just be for you guys, just knowing that, there's less effort on your part during the season, that is everything, temperature is controlled the way you want it to be, and less headache, and just knowing that you've got the best possible product.
Absolutely.
One less thing to think about.
One less thing to worry about, and, used to be, back in the day, if you caught one in the morning, you kind of worried how it was going to be all day. Now the first fish comes out looking just as good as the last fish,
sweet.
Which is just perfect.
Nice.
Prowler always looks. It does. It always looks nice. I mean, you hate to say it. There's other boats that maybe don't share as the same work ethic I think that you guys have, is keeping the boat looking so nice. And the boat doesn't have to look like a gem to necessarily fish or have a good operation, but there's one nice thing about it, for sure that boat is always shining and it's always clean, and there's nothing like the classic lines of the Prowler.
Yeah, been around a long time.
Oh, it has. It was Bill Poole's first custom-built long-range boat.
Really?
Imagine a Guadalupe Island trip on that boat.
Wow, and that's what he used to do.
Well, that was what originally, yeah, and very soon after that, he said, I need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
Cool, Buzz.
So you, behind the scenes, a lot of people probably don't know that you also do a lot of work for fishermen on the Pacific Fisheries Management Council, right?
That's right. It's something I near and dear to my heart, and I enjoy being a part of it. It kind of lets us keep a thumb on the pulse of things.
What does the Pacific Fisheries Management Council do?
The Pacific Fisheries Management Council's area of jurisdiction is from the California-Mexican border to the Canadian border and out to the EEZ, which is 200 miles. And we deal with, from outside of state waters, we deal with all of the fishes in that realm.
All the pelagic fish?
All the pelagic fish. We have, we take care of the HMS species, take care of groundfish, we take care of all of the CPS, which is bait.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And those are the things that, in addition to some others. And salmon is a huge thing up in the Northwest.
Yeah.
So those are kind of the 4 general areas of responsibility, and they get divided up a lot into that. But it gives us information over a wide spectrum of what swims across our collective coasts.
Yeah. So you guys are responsible for setting groundfish limits, setting pelagic species limits, that kind of thing?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And salmon and take of those various species.
Yeah.
And it's, the goal, which is sometimes walking a fine line, is to provide good opportunity with good conservation.
Okay. So what do you say to the people that say, well, there's eventually, we don't know when, going to be a 2-fish limit on bluefin in these waters? What do you say to the guy, well, there's so much, I've never seen so much bluefin?
You have to agree with him on this coast. You got to remember that right now the scientific theory is that the whole North Pacific, which they say is from 20 degrees latitude on up, that's what they classify as the North, is one stock.
Right.
And, maybe we're seeing all of it right here, whereas it's spread out. You don't know.
It moves over to Japan.
It
Japan
moves over.
takes a pretty good quantity of it.
That's where the by far the most take is.
Yeah.
But one of the exciting things that's coming down the road is on this coast, we're trying to initiate some research where we can tell, is it all one stock? Because if it's not one stock, we can manage it differently.
Okay. By tagging.
Well, it's by tagging and also by something that there didn't used to be, which is genetic research.
Oh.
You can take bluefin from the different parts of the Pacific and tell, is it exactly the same or not?
A different stock?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
if so it's a different stock, then we can manage it differently.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
none of that happens overnight, but it's, some of the things that are being initiated.
That's really cool.
Which, for the sport fishermen, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. One of the things we have to keep in mind, too, is that bluefin are very, very different than yellowfin and other species like yellowtail and such like that. And they don't spawn until they're well over 100 pounds, right?
By then, it's 100% spawners. They've got kind of a curve where at age where some of them start spawning earlier, and then you get a peak, and then they fall off. But by that age, they're 100% spawners.
And a lot of what we're seeing are non-spawners.
Yes.
So that means if we're taking that fish from the resource, it hasn't had time to reproduce.
See, I had no idea. I didn't know that at all. That's
Or at least
very
not as effectively as it might.
As it might. Yeah. Versus a yellowfin, they're producing like crazy all the time. Yellowtail are going.
Right. They all start earlier.
Yeah.
Not to change the subject, but how about the number of 100-pound fish that have been in the Southern California
Pretty
Bight
incredible.
already this year?
Yeah.
Nuts.
I mean, unbelievable. And all of this stuff that happens now for some, my age, myself and people that are my age, we've never seen that before. And in the old days of good bluefin fishing, was it common to see that much fish, big fish this close to home?
The last time that I can tell you for sure that there's records of this much big fish around, there were guys like Farnsworth fishing at Catalina Island.
Sure. Yeah.
So that gives you an idea of how
long it's been.
And, certainly what we see here is healthy.
Yes.
But, we may just be seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
But it's all good information.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I were to catch 100-pound bluefin or 120-pound bluefin off our waters here, which I haven't yet this year, I would feel much better about that just because it's already spawned.
Sure.
It's a spawner.
Right?
I would feel much better.
You're a conservationist,
Exactly.
And because of that, he would go ahead and keep it.
Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, he'd be willing to.
Speaking of keeping, when do we see that 2-fish limit going into effect?
We're down to the short term. All that's holding that up is getting the regulations written and noticed and those things.
And we don't know when that's coming.
And that's all in progress. I'd have to say it's in the late stages. A specific date they just don't put on that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. What about the fillet regulations? Are those in effect yet or no?
No,
that
it is all part of the same bill.
Okay.
And so when we go to 2, we go to the fillet regulations.
Okay, so we don't have to keep the belly and the skin and all that right now.
Right now, but and this is just a little plus. The fillet regulation has been pretty maligned, and that's partly because of our culture. We're not used to using things other than the loin. But when the collars have been used in like sushi bars forever.
Oh, yeah.
They broil them, and it's called a kama.
Kama, yeah.
And anybody that goes to sushi bars knows that's delicious.
Oh, yeah.
And for guys that are into home smoking and whatnot, the bellies have long been prized.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's kind of an opportunity for us to get to explore or learn about using more of the fish.
More of the fish, absolutely.
Buzz was one of the first guys that said that exactly. We're treating it as, oh man, we got more work to do and more of this, and he said, this is nothing but this is not a bad thing at all. I mean, we're going to utilize some of the best parts that we just kind of never did before. So there's certainly plenty of plus to be had with it.
It's the old thing. Necessity is the mother of invention, and this is a case where we can take advantage of it.
Yeah, no
that's
kidding.
cool.
Yeah, yellowtail collar. Oh, so good. Put it on the barbecue.
Yep.
Delicious. Well, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you today.
Well, you're not kidding how lucky we are to have Buzz on this cool Father's Day show. And, man, we would just love to hear from you. That's what Let's Talk Hookup is all about. And it's a great opportunity for you to call, ask a question on one of the best in the biz. And if you want to give us a call this morning, there's two ways that you can reach us here on Let's Talk Hookup. And first is with our local line, which is 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090 is our local number. Or you can reach us toll-free. That toll-free line, 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. Not only will we be taking your phone calls today, answering your great questions, and we got really great catch reports coming up in the show, we've also got an awesome prize, and thanks so much to Buzz for that. One lucky caller is going to get to go fishing on an overnight trip aboard the Prowler. How cool is that?
How about that?
Yeah, limited load trip for one lucky caller at the end of the show today. So again, if you want to get through, 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090. When we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls. Lots of great information coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
If you've heard the advice Scott Sherman from Fifth Avenue Insurance has given anglers over the past couple of years, you know there is much more to your boat insurance than just a low rate. Well, Fifth Avenue Insurance can not only find you the lowest rates on your boat insurance, they also make sure the coverage you get meets all your needs. What if you had an accident with the boat and found out you didn't have proper coverage? Well, that just won't happen when you insure with Fifth Avenue Insurance. Call them for advice on your current boat policy or any of your insurance needs. Fifth Avenue Insurance, 619-640-3130, or check the number 5 THAVEINS.com.
For East Cape fishing, Jen Wren is known as the best. This is Mark Rayer. Great service, top quality equipment, including all accurate reels, CalStar rods, and Cimarron electronics, has put my immaculately maintained twin-engine cruisers in a class of their own. For memories of a lifetime, just bring your hat and sunglasses, and we'll provide a fishing experience that will exceed your expectations. Our calendar's filling fast, so don't miss out. For packages, 2 live webcams, a weekly fishery report, and more, check out TeamJenWren.com. We pick up at all East Cape resorts, so let's go fishing.
Imagine being home in the morning and fishing yellowtail and calicos at Cedros Island by the afternoon. Now you can with Cedros Adventures. Experience world-class yellowtail and calico fishing aboard comfortable pangas with local captains that know the island hotspots. Stay in Cedros Adventures' own private waterfront hotel and experience first-class meals and service with pickups in L.A., Orange, or San Diego County. You hop aboard a scheduled flight to Cedros Island to begin an incredible experience. Trips are all-inclusive and offer old-world hospitality and fantastic fishing. Cedros Adventures. Call 310-435-6353 or check cedrosadventures.com for rates and more information. Your hook is one of the most important parts of your fishing tackle, and that is why you should use the hook that sets the standard for quality and innovation. Gamakatsu. As Japan's leading hook manufacturer and growing at an amazing pace, Gamakatsu is responsible for introducing a unique tempering process to give Gamakatsu hooks superior strength and durability. Plus, the conically needle needle-honed points stay sharp. Gamakatsu offers a hook for every fishing situation, including the finest one-piece ringed hooks, light wire, standard and heavy-duty live bait hooks, and the popular Nautilus circle hooks. Get Gamakatsu hooks at your favorite tackle store and stay connected to that fish of a lifetime.
My Angler H2O. I will scent my lure with pride. And hope my boss doesn't notice the tan. I will outmaneuver drought-exposed sunken boats and outlast the hard-fighting largemouth bass. I will save water at home for better fishing out here, and always wear my life jacket.
What's your H2O? Tell us at BoatCalifornia.com. The California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways reminds you to wear it, California.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
Rancho Leonero is very family-oriented. People have brought their children down, and now they're bringing their children. It's not unusual to have 3 generations of family at the hotel. Grandpa, Dad, and normally sons, sometimes daughters. The families come back year after year, and it's a safe place for the kids. It's small, it's intimate, right on the water, 2 miles of beachfront. The water's very shallow in front. There's no currents to speak of, no waves. We have childcare, $10 a day for a babysitter. Security is high at Rancho Leonero. It's really unnecessary, but it adds up comfort level. And we really do encourage the families. It's a great place for family reunions, family get-togethers, weddings. We do it all. 1-800-646-2252, 646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. There's nowhere that I could think of to have the same atmosphere and the same experience that you get at Rancho Leonero. We love families.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
All right, having a great time here. Captain Buzz Brizendine from the Prowler, talking fishing, talking bluefin, yellowfin, albacore, wahoo, dorado.
I want to talk some more wahoo,
yellowtail.
Man. That's
How about some of the yellowtail fishing we've experienced this spring? Huh? Now that it's officially summer and spring is behind us, we can talk about the spring that was.
Oh, my gosh.
It was tremendous.
Unbelievable.
I mean, the amount of yellowtail that have been in northern Baja and the Southern California Bight, all the way up the Bight.
All the way up. How about that fishing off the 150 there, off of
Long Beach
and such?
They're still catching them.
Holy moly!
I talked to guys up there last week that were going up there and having good trips.
Yeah.
So
It's
cool.
amazing.
Here's one of the deals though, and Buzz, I'm sure you can say this is going to be the truth. You got to make your reservations. You got to book early, especially if you want to go on the weekends.
Absolutely.
Things are gonna. We've been telling you for months.
Yeah.
Now we're really going to get serious with you because we don't want to hear, well, I tried to get on the Prowler, but it was full. And man, if you want to fish this summer, especially on a weekend, you better pick your dates right now.
Right now. There's lots of spots.
You can go right online and do it, right?
Yeah.
Or call the landing.
Yeah. Or we've got a link from our website.
Okay.
But anyway.
What's your website?
ProwlerSportFishing.com.
Okay.
And so right now there's lots of spots.
Yes.
But that can change in the matter of quick.
Yeah.
It's July, and it's a awesome season, especially like say if you want to book on a Friday, on a Saturday. I mean, book those spots now. We all know you're going on the Prowler in July. Yes, it's going to be good. We don't need to wonder about it. Like this is it's just I'm with you. That's a really good call because look at what happened last year. If you wanted to get a spot, you were at minimum a week and a half out, you know, and it was the same thing. Like, I want to wait to make sure it's good. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. It is.
Yeah, we've already got the stuff here.
Yeah,
not like where's it coming from? When's it going to get here?
Yeah,
it's here.
Yeah.
So just
June 21st, first day of summer. Book your spot.
It's
absolutely.
And here's, today we have our Shimano Let's Talk Hookup on the Water seminar aboard the Freedom. Those guys are out there right now. Probably whacking some yellowtail out there.
Probably catching yellows.
But we have, we've had a series of 10 Shimano Let's Talk Hookup on the Water seminars this year. Almost every one is sold out, but we do have spots available on 3 of them left. You can look at our website, hookup1090.com, for more details on how to book these. They book through various tackle stores throughout Southern California. But we have spots, believe it or not, on August 28th, 3/4 day on the Dana Pride. We have spots on a 9/11 trip, a September 11th trip on the San Diego, a 3/4 day trip on the San Diego.
Oh, wow.
And we have July 18th one coming up pretty quickly here, a 1-day trip on the Oceanside 95. So you want to go on these trips. There's just a handful of spots left on all of these. book them now. You can look at our website, hookup1090.com, look at the trips page. All the details are there, and you'll be able to see the ones that have availability, which is just those 3 that are left out of all the different trips we did this year. That's it. And they provide all the Shimano tackle. The Shimano guys go on the trips, help you out, and it's a limited load trip. You're not going to find a trip like this available, so you better jump on it while you can.
Just mention the Dana Pride. How about the yellowtail fishing that was at Box Canyon
earlier?
Oh,
boy.
No doubt.
I mean,
jumbos.
Yeah, they were just great of fish, and they were really a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I remember for a couple of weeks in a row from below the border all the way up above, like every traditional rock cod spot on the coast was just really good yellowtail fishing.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere you went, it was a deep water structure spot. You could almost blindly drop a yo-yo jig to the bottom if you could find one. If you could find a yo-yo jig on the wall, which was not easy, and wind it back to the surface, a yellowtail was going to grab it. So cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Well, let's jump into those jam-packed phone lines, Rick.
You got it.
Talk to Buzz.
They definitely do. Everything's packed up. We're going to start it off this morning with Tom, who's calling us from Temecula this morning. Tom, good morning, and thanks for getting us started here on Let's Talk Hookup.
Morning, guys, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Indeed.
You bet.
Buzz, with the bigger, just incredible grade of yellowtail and tuna that is around, and I think in past history there, usually we get those larger fish at the kind of the front end of the migration, and then we kind of cycle into the smaller school size, tuna. Is that a typical occurrence? But I think this year is kind of the exception. And then, what is the tackle recommendation? Are we really looking at like 30 and 40 pound, nothing less than 30 on these trips?
Well, as far as the size of fish, it seems like once again this year, particularly on the bluefin, the big ones led the way, because that was some of the first stuff we saw. I mean, it was all of a sudden like there were 100-pounders being talked about every day. And some of the horror stories were just as much fun.
Yeah. Guys going in undergunned.
I mean, just recently, as recently as a week or so ago, I had a guy relate to me just the stories of that day off of 3 different boats, and they were all fish, stuff fish stories are made of, but no barbecue. But in answer to your question on the tackle, I think one thing that's going to be a must for every trip you leave the dock on any boat this year is what I call a good 40-pound outfit. And if you're into the 2-speeds, that's great. Into the lever drags, that's great. One of the things that I found that is working really well this spring is the Penn Fathom 25N.
I love that.
That's their new reel.
It's their new reel, and it's works well. I've been fishing it with 65-pound Spectra, and that would be one you'd want to take with you.
Lever drag reel?
This one is not a lever drag reel.
Star drag.
It's star drag, but
they make them both ways.
They make them both ways, and in fact, I just picked up one of the lever drags, so that's next on the agenda.
Okay.
So certainly you always want to bring something like a 25-pound outfit, but this 40-pound outfit could be the real workhorse of the whole summer.
For somebody that's not familiar, that's like almost like a 99 sized reel.
Exactly. It fits in the hand well, but it holds 300 and some odd yards, I think.
Totally. Wow.
Of Spectra. So is that Tom what you had in mind?
Yeah, that's exactly what I had in mind, because I certainly don't want to be one of the guys standing at the rail there fighting a fish for an hour, holding up the whole boat.
Well, you also have to get bit, but the beauty of this, there again, what I call a good 40-pound outfit is you've got good opportunities to get bit, but then you've got good horsepower to land them.
And you got a chance to land them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And on something like a 7-foot medium stick, that's not going to kill you, and you're loaded for bear.
What about going backwards? We talked about the anchovy. In a conventional setting, what's the appropriate line size? Would you say, going fishing on the Prowler, where obviously you're fishing with 25 of your closest buddies and you're hooking some fish? What do you think is the appropriate line size, going in for our average school size tuna fishing?
Fish and
chovy.
Oh, fish and chovy. Fish and chovies, you're going to have to start out with 20-pound, I think. But the beauty of that is now you could fish 50-pound Spectra
Exactly.
with a 20-pound piece of fluoro, and you're probably going to get better life and better action out of your bait. So that's an option we didn't used to have.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to use straight 20-pound, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Never stopped working.
Yeah, never stopped working. So you just have an option today that you didn't used to have.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Let's head south down to Rancho Leonero. Mr. John Ireland's on the line. Buenos dias, John.
Hi, Pete, Rick, Buzz.
Good
morning, John.
Morning, John.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, happy Father's Day and happy Grandfather's Day.
Yeah.
And your grandpa, too.
It's my first Grandfather's Day.
That's awesome, John.
Thanks, and everybody out there. Yeah, it's been an interesting week. You know, we've had Bill Boyce and he and Gary Graham are filming Bill's show down here, and we've had a much improved week fishing. The tuna, the yellowfin, bad news first. The yellowfin have kind of cleared out. I'm to return, I'm sure, but they've been replaced with a lot of blue marlin early. Right off about 7 to 10 miles off of Las Arenas, it's loaded up with sailfish, stripers, and blue marlin. As many as I can remember, really, this early in the year. So it's looking good for the Bisbee and another 5 weeks. But like they said, there's a temp break, and it's between 84 degrees and 78. There's a good 6 or 7 degree break right along the front of Las Arenas. And like I said, about 7 to 10 out. Lots of flying fish, real deep blue water. And so everything's working. Troll lures, live bait. Cabita's been deadly. So it's been a good week. Bill, on one day with Felipe Valdez fishing on Dottie B, they released 2 blue marlin and 1 striper, to give you an idea, in one day. So the marlin fishing is very, very good. Second day, they came out with me on El Jefe, and we picked up a couple 50-pound plus rooster fish. The rooster fish are around, and the good news is we got actually consistent sardine. We've had sardine for the last week, and that opens up all kinds of avenues, especially for the fly fishermen and then the smaller rooster fish inside. They can't bite the bigger bait. We're catching a lot more smaller rooster fish. The bigger rooster fish we caught some that were further, about a mile off. I couldn't believe how far out they were. It's the farthest I've ever caught rooster fish off the beach, but it was remarkable. We had 7 on and actually boated 3. So on all 3 were over 50 pounds. So.
Wow.
Gee.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Huh?
So that's finally picking up.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's really what's been going. A lot of inshore fishing. Everybody's doing a lot of inside stuff. And catching a lot of different rock fishing, a lot of pargo and grouper and all kinds of stuff. The bottom fishing's been very good as well.
Gotta love it, man. Great time of the year to come down to Rancho Leonero, and I know you have some specials coming up in August, September, and great time to book now, and the airfares are good. Lots of flights available, easy to get to, and you can be in paradise in a couple of hours right from where you're sitting right now. So how do we get a hold of you, John, and we want to come down there and go fishing?
Thanks, Pete. 800-646-2252 or rancholeonero.com.
All right, 646-2252, the new 800 number. You want to jump on that? rancholeonero.com, you can see a live photo of what it looks like right now and then really get the taste
That's my
of
favorite.
what's happening out there.
Thanks, guys.
All right, talk to you next week.
See you, John.
Thanks a lot for the call. All right.
Well, the phones are absolutely packed up. Every single phone line is full, so we're going to jump right back into those phones. And this time we're going to talk to Don, who's calling us from Woodland Hills this morning. Good morning, Don. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, Pete. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, Buzz. Thanks for taking my call this morning, and happy Father's Day to all my fishing buddies out there.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Hey, Buzz, wanted to pick your brain here just for a moment on a star drag reel. I know we talk a lot about drags, but don't hear a lot about setting up proper cast control on a star drag reel. I wonder if you could touch base on that. And then going back to drags, what would you recommend is the right way to set up a drag on a star drag reel?
Well, on the cast control, first off, it's usually adjusting a bearing right or left side depending on the reel. And what we've always done for years is you want to be able to just not wiggle the spool back and forth. If you don't get any chatter in there, that means you've got it just right. Too tight and you're going to retard your casting. Too loose and you got a chance of getting the line down inside the reel, which is not what you want. As far as setting the drag, that's an individual preference. One way that I know a guy that I used to work for said set the drag, hold it in 2 fingers, and if you can't pull it out, it's too tight. No,
really?
That's a good tip.
Actually, it's 3 fingers. Your thumb.
I was going to say 3 fingers.
And you push it, and that way, it's kind of a safe, fail-safe. That way, you know you're not going to be too tight. I like it just one little tick tighter than that.
Yeah.
But that's a good place to start. And you may
Better tighter than looser?
Well, no, better looser than tighter,
Okay.
because our theory is as long as it's attached, you've still got a chance.
Yeah, okay.
And that works on many levels.
Circle hook or J hook?
Because of the clientele we have and what we do mostly, we are very much J hook proponents.
Okay.
However, the circle hooks definitely have their niche, and it's for the guys that fish a little more often.
Yeah. And why is that? It's just they don't have a tendency to swing as much?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, if
put it in gear and start winding.
Yeah. You know, I mean, for forever, guys have heard, you get bit, swing.
Yeah.
As opposed to put it in gear and just slowly wind until everything comes tight and then just bend the rod.
I'm definitely more of a J-hook guy most often, just for ease of pinning a bait on.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you treat a J-hook the same as a circle, a lot of times it ends up in the same spot. Bluefin is one of the few times when I ever make a conscious decision about putting a hook on. Usually I'm pretty lackadaisical. As long as I got a box of an appropriate size J-hook, I pin it on and fire it out and don't think twice about it. Bluefin's one of the few times where they definitely have some teeth, and those things are just so notorious for the very end of the fight when the thing's at color and it's looking below you and it's still 15 feet below the gaff and you can't put a gaff in them. They open up their mouth and they start shaking their head. That saw blade they do, it's like they do it every time. They get that head shake, and that's one of the few times where I definitely feel better having a circle hook.
Ever since Gamakatsu came out with the Nautilus circle hook, I'm a circle hook guy. That's what I fish now.
Yeah.
That's all I fish.
One of the beauties with today's tackle is you've shortened that time from color to gaff.
Yes.
Good
so
point. Great point.
You don't lose as many in that same instance you had. But I think it boils down to preference.
Personal preference. Does a J hook versus a circle hook shorten the time? Does it hurt the fish more with a J hook or hurt the fish more with a circle hook? Is there any factor in there?
I don't think there's a factor in there. The beauty of the circle hook, as we all know, is it gets in the corner of the mouth, and hopefully the eye is outside the mouth, so you don't have the teeth working on the line like Rick was just talking about. But
one last thing I want to throw out there too about your drag settings, boy. The one advantage that we have on the fleet of boats we have, whether it be on the Prowler or any boat that you go on, is you have the raddest coaches in the game all working the deck on that boat. I mean, we all fish all the time, and man, I would still just tug on the arm of any crew member at any time and just say, hey, what do you think about this drag? It'll take them 2 seconds to just back yourself up. You know what I mean? I mean, we all can probably get it about where it should be, but it just takes 2 seconds to have a guy that sees successes and failures every single day of his life, and just, not only for your confidence, but even for the crew's confidence. They know when Don is hooked up, I know that the drag is set is right, and I don't have to worry about it, and he can just go on about his thing. If 2 seconds, it gives you and the crew peace of mind.
And that goes on to hook size or what's the hot lure to use, just any of that kind of thing. You've got a resource close at hand that you don't have in a lot of instances.
Yeah. There you go. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right. Hey, let's jump back into the phones. This time talking to Mike, calling us from El Cajon. Good morning, Mike. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. Happy Father's Day for everybody. I just wanted to say, Buzz, I love your boat. You're a great captain, and you always put people on the fish. And I'm glad I called in today and listened about the bluefin, because I learned a lot about bluefin that some of you guys might not have known, about the spawning and whatnot. And my take on 2 fish limit, I think it's worth making a change. And I'm not going to wait for it to be law and whatnot. I'm just going to start just taking only 2, because you got to preserve the species for the future. So, you get 200-pound fish. That's all you need.
That's one in each hand. There you go. Well, that's a good attitude, and we hope you get that opportunity this summer.
Yeah. Now, what size hooks do you recommend to go after these bluefin with?
That varies on the bait a lot, and to some degree the size of fish. But somewhere between a 2.0 and a 4.0 is what we always tell people to start with. And if you have to go up or down from there, you can. But 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 is almost always good here
And here's the thing. Different manufacturers, a 2.0 is very different from another manufacturer's 2.0. What I like to do is I like to ask the crew.
I was just
going to get on the boat and just say, is this the right hook?
There, exactly.
And they'll say, what size line you fishing, all that kind of stuff.
I was just thinking the same thing as for the previous caller. You've got this resource right at hand. Use them.
You guys do it every day.
That's right.
You know exactly what to use. Hey, Mike, thanks a lot for the call this morning.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We're going to check in with the catch report, find out what's biting, a whole lot more of your phone calls. You stay tuned. Lots of great stuff coming up. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Everyone likes special treatment, kind of feel like a VIP. Well, that's how our listeners are treated at Poway Valley Collision. I have personally heard of several stories of how well our friends Jim and Mary take care of their customers that we sent them. Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. We know you may not need them today, but when accidents happen, it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. And listen to this. Our listeners get a special discount that can save you hundreds of dollars on your car or truck repair. Just tell them you listen to the show and you get the deal. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. Just bring your car or truck to them and let Poway Valley Collision do the rest. I have had my truck repaired at Poway Valley Collision, and the job was perfect. So get your vehicle fixed right at Poway Valley Collision. Tell them you listen to Let's Talk Hookup, and they'll save you money on your repair. Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com.
Good morning, it's Whitney from Mammoth Lakes, California. Come on up, the water's fine, is what the Eastern Tier is touting. And in Mammoth Lakes, it's much more than just the water. This summer, our 4 lakes will be stocked with almost 16,000 pounds of healthy fighting trout. From fishing and biking to hiking and horseback riding, there's a legendary story waiting for adventurers of all ages in Mammoth Lakes. Start planning your next adventure at visitmammoth.com. That's visitmammoth.com.
Here's important news from Searcher Sport Fishing. Our 2015 schedule is now available at searchersportfishing.com. This is Captain Art Taylor. After an outstanding 2014 season, I promise our trips will fill fast. The Searcher offers great service, awesome food, air-conditioned cabins, an RSW system to preserve your catch, and plenty of room at the rail. Call Celia at 619-226-2403. That's 619-226-2403, or book online today at searchersportfishing.com.
It's time for our Power Pro 60-second seminar you heard Buzz talking about earlier. Thin is good, and that's what Power Pro is all about. Regular Power Pro, I tell you, I have a new favorite setup.
Whoa,
Yeah. I took a Trinidad 20.
Okay.
Trinidad 20A, and I filled it with 50-pound Power Pro. That's a lot of Power Pro.
You're not kidding.
Red, my favorite. Put a short top shot of the pink Seaguar fluorocarbon on there. I'm telling you what, that is a machine. And you can put some fish, and they bite it, and they can put the fish on the boat with that thing.
You want to talk about how well a bait can swim. Give it the opportunity to tow a short piece of fluorocarbon behind some skinny Power Pro like that, and there's no drag behind him anymore. He can haul booty all day long.
Yeah, and you have a reel big enough to handle it.
Exactly.
So don't be afraid to fish the 50 instead of the 65, because it's going to swim a little better, right? That's my message. I don't know about you, but that's what I like to do. Power Pro at your favorite tackle store. Just check out powerpro.com. I'm very excited to share my experience with the new Simrad NSS Evo 2 touchscreen chart plotter and sonar unit I just installed on my boat. I've been a Simrad electronics fan for many years and always enjoyed the ease of use and incredible technology. Last year I installed the new 4G broadband radar and could not believe the difference. So this year I upgraded to the new NSS Evo 2, and it's amazing. With an easy-to-use tablet-style interface that's fresh but familiar, the Simrad NSS Evo 2 combines a multi-touch screen with push-to-select rotary dial for precision control and speedy response. The core of any marine electronic for me is how it marks fish, and the new NSS Evo 2 with built-in Sonar Hub sounder technology, including chirp and structure scan, can't be beat. Now, the true test is whether I need to pick up the manual to figure it out. And guess what? The new Simrad gear is so easy, I didn't need it. There's a lot more to the new Simrad NSS Evo 2 system I'd like to tell you, but best to just go to your local Simrad dealer and check it out. Or see simrad-yachting.com for more details.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
Padres are playing some kind of baseball.
San Diego's sports leader, the Mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Hey, as promised, it's time to find out what's biting out there. Today, the Catchport sponsored in part by Dana Landing on Mission Bay, your true one-stop shop for everything that you need to go fishing. They have a complete saltwater tackle store. They have a full deli. They have trips. They offer six-pack charters, including the brand-new Blackjack, a beautiful 4-pack boat. It's a brand new lures. It's just a beautiful, beautiful
Really
boat.
nice.
And when it comes to freshwater tackle, you got to check out East County Bait and Tackle, full of all of the freshwater tackle and live bait that you need for a great day in the lake. Dana Landing is right across from SeaWorld, next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay, and East County Bait and Tackle at the end of the 67 freeway at Mapleview and Lakeside. Check DanaLanding.com for a little more information. And let's start it off at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Talk to the man. Captain Brian Woolley is standing by. Good morning, Woolley.
Hey, what is happening, guys? How are you this morning?
Great.
Doing well.
How's the fishing?
Good. Hey, gosh, man, we're coming off another pretty good week up here. You know, starting it off right close to home, we've continued to see some really good calico bass fishing. Real good in the kelp and over some of the hard bottom. We had massive invasion of the red crab this week, both inside and outside of the harbor. So this bass fishing has been a bit spotty, you know, from day to day. We'll catch a good one morning and it'll be a little bit off in the afternoon, but these fish appear to be in pre-spawn mode. So we'll kind of see how this bite progresses through the week. We did have a few nice sea bass taken this week too for a couple lucky passengers on a few of our trips. The big fish this week was 48 pounds. I was caught yesterday in the kelp on a fly line sardine. So we're also seeing some good yellowtail sign along the beach. We had a couple good days with some yellowtail in our accounts. This is good grade of fish. Stuff's going like 17 to just a hair under 30 pounds. And if that's not enough, you know, this yellowfin tuna is still pretty darn close. You know, we're seeing fish as close to 8 miles from the harbor. Good spots of this fish, both open water fish and on the dolphin. And these aren't, you know, just your small little 8 to 12 pound fish. This is a good 30 to 60 pound grade. We're seeing this stuff just about every single day. It's really keyed in on the Spanish jack that's out there right now. So that it really hasn't started to bite, but man, we're seeing it in these huge spots. So, you know, we need it to ease up a little bit, you know, and kind of settle in a little bit more. But in all honesty, you know, that could be any day as the water out there is really warm. It's really clean. And, you know, who knows? It could really happen at any time. So we'd love to have you guys hop on a trip with us. Remember, guys, to use the Let's Talk Hookup link right there on the webpage if you want to save some money on a 3/4 day or a half day trip. And then we've got our full schedule with multiple half day trips every day, twilight trips, 3/4 day, 5 to 5. We're running the full program. So call the landing. Certainly a good idea to make reservations this time of the year. The phone number there is 949-496-5794. Of course, you can check us out on the web at danawharf.com. And again, link us right there through the Let's Talk Hookup webpage, and we'll save some money on one of these local trips.
Save some big bucks. There you go.
Well, it certainly sounds like fish are close enough that I know we saw a picture that you put up of yellowfin in the harbor. So why end up worrying about going anywhere? You got them up there at Dana Wharf, Brian.
Yeah, right. How crazy is that?
Catch them right off the back of the boat before you leave the dock.
There you go. All right, guys, have a super week, and hey, we'll see what happens, and we'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate it very much, Brian. Great report as always. Appreciate that, and we'll look forward to talking to you then.
All right, very good. All right, we're standing by for Gundy Gunderson, our surf guru. Is that Gundy right there? We have him, guys? Is that Gundy?
All right.
Yeah, okay, very good. All right, Gundy Gunderson, our surf guru. Good morning, Gundy.
What's up, Gundy?
What's happening?
Good morning, Gundy.
You know, the saga in the surf just changes week to week. Now we got red crabs in the mix, and I'll get to that. But, boy, it's been an interesting year all around. Up north, very good fishing in the rocks for those guys. Hook, line, and sinker reported excellent bite in the rocks and kelpie areas. Anglers are fishing 4- and 5-inch swim baits and reporting lots of calico bass tight to the beach. And they're big fish. I don't know if they're keyed on the grunion, maybe the grunion they're staging. But they reported a 5-pound fish and an 8-pound fish caught out of the surf, calico bass, real tight. The cabezon, lingcod, also in tight to the beach. They're eating the cut squid fish Carolina rig. Very good bite up there. Carpinteria through East Beach was the hot spot. Wiley's reported excellent Corvina action on the sandy beaches. Sand crabs are in real good, and they're seeing real nice quality fish up to 4 pounds. Temescal Canyon was one of the hot spots they mentioned. Also very good mixed bag fishing along this stretch for calico bass, cabezon, grass rock fish. The inshore really lit up. It's got to be the grunion run coming. Coral Beach was a hot spot there. Just Fishing reported excellent halibut action along Torrance Beach. on halibut to 10 pounds, hard jerkbait, slow roll crocodiles doing the trick there. Big fish reported wide open morning bite on yellowfin croaker off Surfside. There's also some halibut in the mix here. The fish are on the bait, and the crocodile has just been working well. And some of those yellowfin been running into the 5-pound class. It's beautiful quality fish. Now we hit a little hiccup here. Newport through Dana was really tough. The red crabs, it was in the news and everything, but they've run into Dana Point Harbor there. They get to be so many in the harbor that they'll actually have like a die-off, and it really affects the fishing. I think at one point there's just too much feed in the water, and the fish kind of turn off to it. I've seen it before, and once the red crabs start clearing up, then the bite comes back. But down south, Pacific Coast reported along San Diego beaches there, excellent spot fin bite in the lagoons, in the harbors, even outside the surf line, the guys with the long rods and the heavy sinkers, and they're running to 5 pounds. I think a 5-pound, 10-ounce still leads their derby, and mussel's been the hot bait. Ghost shrimp's been hard to find, so there's not many guys using ghost shrimp. Can't go wrong using ghost shrimp, though, when you're fishing spot fin. But another terrific week in the surf, just a little hiccup in that Newport area, but that red crab phenomenon, that's kind of interesting when that happens.
Wow, Gundy, that's so good and so much good fishing out there. Amazing. I was paddling along the shore the other day with the no surf and stuff, just paddling around and saw big schools of Corbina around. I mean, they're cool. They're around, right?
Yeah, they're thick right now. Right outside the surf line, you can see them finning there, Pete.
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's a cool deal.
Time to go
you know
fishing.
Where to find them, huh?
Yeah, time to go fishing, Gundy. Thanks a lot for that great report, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
All right, gentlemen, have a good week.
Happy
Gundy.
summer,
Thanks,
happy
Gundy.
Father's Day, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right,
that's our catch report.
You got it. Well, again, wrapping it up is sponsored in part by Job Site Supply, specializing in the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing trades. Come see the full line of Louisville Ladder at Job Site Supply. Plus, they have the exclusive logo lock system in-house, which is really cool. Basically, it allows you to put your company name and or logo embedded permanently into the fiberglass to deter theft and, more importantly, keep track of your ladders on the job site. Check JobSiteSupplyCo.com for more details.
All right, let's go ahead and jump back into those jam-packed phone lines.
You got it. How about we talk to this good little regular on the old Prowler, Goldie, calling us from North Park. Good morning, Goldie. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. You know that boat pretty darn well.
Hey, Goldie.
Buzz Double D. If you pull my name, I want Buzz Double D, okay?
Double D.
All right.
You're letting your secret out, Goldie.
That's the spot, huh?
Yeah. If he ever sells the boat, I told him I need 24 hours to come down with a chainsaw. One more thing. You talked about collars. Bluefin collars, gentlemen, on the grill, babies crying, women dying. No, seriously, that's some good eating there.
Yeah. That stuff is worth keeping, isn't it?
Oh, yes. I would like to inform the world that Buzz is the lesser rung of his family. His sister wrote a book on the New York Times bestseller list for over a year.
Wow.
Made 3 appearances on Oprah Winfrey.
Wow.
I had no idea, Buzz. That's cool.
Yeah, she's lives up in the Bay Area, and Dr. Brizendine.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's very
what
cool.
kind of writing does she do?
She's written a couple of books. She's a psychiatrist and MD and psychiatrist.
Like a Dr. Phil kind of thing. Sort of, but not really.
Yeah.
No, she's a real doctor.
But interestingly enough,
deal.
the two that he's talking about is one's the male brain and one's the female brain, and it's kind of like what makes us both tick.
Oh, okay.
How cool is that? I had no idea.
And I mention it because for Father's Day, you dads that have girls that are starting to get their teenage years, I wish I had read that book earlier, and I'm not being sarcastic.
That's really cool, Goldie.
And not to downplay it a bit, but Buzz's sister was on the teaching staff at Harvard Medical School.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's why I say he's the lesser light of the band.
That's okay, Goldie. I can do that.
He gets to go fishing for a living, Goldie.
I'll bet you could outcast the service iron.
That's right.
Thanks, Goldie. Nice of you to call.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. In fact, another full hour, including a big block of your phone calls. We got our fishdope.com report to look forward to. Lots of great stuff coming up, and a lot more buzz. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Tell him I'm sick. The fishing season started early, so now is the time to visit the best saltwater tackle store anywhere. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. With more inventory than ever before, we know the demand is going to be huge this season, so why wait? Visit us now and get your pick of the best equipment. Hey, there are already tuna, yellowtail, and marlin in local waters, so gear up now for what could be our best season ever. Take advantage of our expert staff that knows how to outfit you the right way. Come by and see us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego or saltwatertackle.com. Fisherman's Landing has been the choice of sport fishing anglers for decades with the largest fleet of long-range boats worldwide, complemented by Southern California's finest charter and open party fleet. From a half-day trip on the Dolphin to overnight trips or a long-range adventure, you can count on Fisherman's Landing to deliver the best. Check the website for all that is going on or call Fisherman's Landing at 619-221-8500. Book now at fishermanslanding.com.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
Ranch is small, you know. It's very personal, very intimate. I don't think there's anywhere else that you could have the old Baja feel and have all those miles of beachfront, the palapa roofs and the stone walls. There's not a room that you don't have some kind of ocean view. You don't give up any amenities at the ranch. It's just very rustic. You know how when you cook outdoors it tastes better? Well, that's Rancho Leonero. It just tastes better. We have paddle boards, we've got kayaks, we've got snorkeling equipment, of course. We've got 12 super pongas. We have dive trips. We've got over 40 kayaks at the hotel. We've got all accurate equipment, very top of the line. And when the fishing's good, we'll freeze your fish, pack it all up, send it home with you. People love it. They'll come back 5-6 times a year. That's the highest accolade we can get. 1-800-646-2252, 646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. It's unique.
Cedros Tackle has some great news. They are expanding to offer you new adventures to complement their fully outfitted tackle shop right on Cedros Island. Cedros Tackle will now offer kayak fishing and tours. The adventure includes deluxe accommodations in Cedros Tackle's own brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath cottage that provides all the comforts of home, yet gives each guest their own private space to rest after a long day of fishing and fun on Cedros Island. The kayak adventures include the use of fully outfitted Hobie Outback Mirage Drive kayaks, perfect for fishing, spearfishing, snorkeling, and more. Your Cedros Tackle kayak adventure includes transportation to a remote location, either by ponga or truck. While you are out fishing, the crew will set up a relaxing day camp, including a barbecue lunch. Have the kayak adventure of a lifetime without the work. You just fish and enjoy. Cedros Tackle can even take care of all your equipment. So for your next trip to Cedros Island, try a kayak adventure with Omar, Jeff, and the gang at Cedros Tackle. For more information or to help plan your trip, check the website at cedrostackle.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Padres.
Oh, Rush!
San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Information is the key to success, and inside information is even better. When it comes to fishing, inside information is critical, and that's what FishDope.com delivers. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and save fuel. FishDope.com is the only SST service with a satellite oceanographic PhD on board, the only fish finding service with a spotter plane. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com boasts the largest code group anywhere, covering sport boats, commercial boats, and private boaters. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. What I'm telling you is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, good luck. Membership costs less than 40 gallons of gas for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, stay tuned for the special code to save $20 on a FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For over 20 years, AFCO has been known for its traditional fishing shorts. We now will also be known for our new line of next-generation fishing and board shorts. Our new M82 tactical fishing shorts feature quick-dry, high-tech, two-way stretch fabric, zipper fly, 6 functional pockets plus pliers pocket, sublimated camo print, and our DWR finish so your shorts don't get stained. Also new to the AFCO line are the M25 Stingray board shorts. The Stingray board shorts feature new, quick-dry, 4-way mind stretch fabric, modern zipper fly, 2 technical high-cargo pockets with inverted zippers, silicone printed draw cords, along with our DWR finish to repel stains. Both shorts are new to the AFCO line and come in a variety of colors and sizes. These technically advanced fishing and board shorts continue AFCO's long tradition of providing the world's finest fishing and board shorts. Check them out today at better shops everywhere.
Summer has finally arrived, bringing warmer waters our way. And you know what that means? The offshore fishing this season could be one of the best ever. And speaking of best ever, have you seen the new 2015 Ford F-150? It's the most advanced F-150 ever, which is even more good news for fishermen. One of my favorite features is the available 360-degree camera. It lets you see everything around you, which really comes in handy when you're trying to launch on a crowded dock. It's also the first truck ever to be built with military-grade aluminum alloy. That means the new F-150 is up to 700 pounds lighter to accelerate faster and stop quicker. It also hauls more and tows more. And get this, it does it all more fuel efficiently. I highly recommend taking one out for a test drive. The new F-150 is the best thing to happen to fishermen in San Diego since the barbed hook. So stop by your San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.